what are all these drive mode options in your camera and when would you use them? Essentially, drive mode is where you're taking multiple shots. Some cameras may call it something else. In fact, on this particular camera here, it's called release mode. And you'll see that I've got S for single. I've got something that indicates multiple shots. I have a self-timer symbol with 10S seconds. I have no self-timer, but 2S, 2 seconds. And then I have this thing that looks like it's a remote. So essentially, drive mode is how many shots do you take when you hold the shutter button down. So single is just one shot going ahead. So let's have a look. So single shooting, you would take just one shot. This is where you're waiting for an action and you know that you can just get that within that one shot. You have low speed continuous, usually 2 to 3 frames, 2 to 3 shots per second. So all cameras have this low speed continuous. If you have an entry-level camera, you've no other option and it's not called low speed, it's just called continuous. Now, if you have a mid to high-end camera, the chances are that you also have high-speed continuous, which is 4 frames up, typically kind of 7, 8 frames per second, 10 frames per second. But I have noticed in the newer mirrorless cameras, the very high-end ones, they're quoting ridiculous numbers, 50 or 100 shots per second, because with DSLRs, digital SLRs, there was a mirror that had to be got up out of the way, and that slap up and down delayed or shortened how many shots could be taken in a second, whereas without it, it can just go fire thousands. Well, who knows? Look at your own camera, it will tell you that. Now, if we look at the difference between these. So this shot here, this is just taken before train comes out of the tunnel. And this last shot here is the train halfway past within just one shot taken over, just a second, 1.5 seconds or so. This is the same shot, train not yet come out of the tunnel. The same shot, the train is halfway past me. But look at the amount that I get with just the low speed. And then I have absolutely almost every specific option I might want to show that train as it's coming out of the tunnel. And I will make that decision obviously later on, but I have these 15 options as opposed to 5, which means I'm much more likely to get the one shot that I actually want. Now, there are other options you have as well, and there's a self-timer, and this is the universal symbol for self-timer. This is usually a symbol for a remote, so it indicates that you would turn on the remote by choosing this option. But this self-timer single is usually 10 seconds. I've seen 12, I've seen 8, but it's basically for you to run into the shot. So you press the shutter, it's on a tripod, it's on something stable, like, a rock or something, and you run in and 10 seconds later, you're in the shot. There's some indicator on the camera, a light that will flash and go faster as it's getting closer to the shot being taken. You have a single self-timer, which is 2 seconds later. Now, I used to joke that this is for young people who can run faster to be in the shot, but no, it's not that. This is situations, low light particularly, you're trying to take a night shot, but if you press the camera and you don't have a tripod or you don't have a self-timer, a cable release, I should say, then you'll get a blurred shot because the camera's moving. So this 2 second delay, 10 seconds, funny enough, is enough time for a Piazza to just empty or a whole lot of trucks to come into your night shot 10 seconds later. It's amazing how long that actually is. So 2 seconds is closer to the time of pressing the shot that you will get your shot. So less chance for the Piazza to empty, less chance for trucks to come rattling into your shot itself. And then some cameras also give you this other option here, which is self-timer continuous. And what this is basically is it allows you to take the shot a number of seconds later where you can take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a self-timer. You can sometimes set the time. So let's say you set 10 seconds, you run in, and then because you've got 10 people, everybody's expressions is going to be going at different rates. So one of those shots just might get everybody smiling and looking at the camera. So that's what all those drive mode options in your camera are, and that's when you would use them. So as always, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments.